Hello everyone, my name is Abhishek Jain, and in today's video we're going to understand how we can architect a trade execution workflow with the help of our AI tools like ChatGPT, DeepSeekR1 and the Claude AI, and we're gonna compare the response of all these three. And I'm really amazed and blown away when I saw what kind of response these tools are creating for us. So if you are going to use these tools to just architect any system, believe me, all heavy lifting would be done in just a few minutes. Then you are only left with just do the further exploration to just articulate and elaborate those pointers in more detail. So without further delay, let's get into the demo and see how these tools are helping, right? I just designed only two questions, right, which you can see on my screen, right? So please share on how trade execution happens over the exchange. What if you want to build a simple application for trade execution over the exchange in Python? Then how the high level and low level design would look like for the same. Could you please share the high level diagram that depicts the trade execution flow? That's the very first question, which is more or less just to understand what the trade execution is. And you will be amazed, this is the response I got from the ChatGPT. You can see on my screen. Trade execution is the process of matching buy sale order in the financial market, right? And it happens over the exchange order matching system, right? And these are the six, major activities which happens, to just, have the entire end-to-end workflow work. This is the high level design where it says that, okay, what all components you will be needing. And then if you just see the low level design as well, right? And this is the diagram which it's created, right? It's quite messy, but just ignore that for now, right? This is the response which we got from the ChatGPT, right? Now come to the DeepSeek. I asked the similar question to the DeepSeekR1, right? Trade execution over the exchange. More or less, it's pretty much same, but the language is a little bit different. Like order placement, order routing, order matching, trade confirmation, clearing, and settlement. It's pretty much same like what we have here. There was a little bit of difference in the how those definitions are articulated or explained, but more or less it's same, and then high level design again pretty much same. Low level design, it also looks good. High level diagram, because DeepSeekR1 is not yet ready to just generate the images, so this is how it just give us this workflow, which is pretty good. And then DeepSeek, I didn't ask for any Python implementation, but still it's provided a code where it says like classes, order management, where we have place order, validate order, then we have exchange gateway, right? But see, I haven't asked any code to be shared with me, right? And then it says that the explanation of those classes, right? It's just a simple question which I asked, and I just got this response. Okay. Now come to the Claude AI, right? This tool is more dedicatedly, designed for coding to help the software developers, right? I ask the same question and see what it's saying. It's saying trade execution flow. A trader client submit real order goes through pre-trade risk check, validation, blah, blah, blah. And here the workflow, which you can see, right? Trading UI or REST or fix API. These are the two mechanisms through which you can place the order. Then it goes to the order management, and then we have order database, cache database, right? And then it's validate service comes into the picture, see this workflow. So if we don't have these tools, we have to spend a lot of time to just build that. And most of the time we have to just depend upon, our subordinates to just came up with all these kind of things. But now just in few clicks, in few seconds, we can just come up with all these kind of stuff, right? Okay, and this is how the code looks like. And then, let's design a simple trading application if you see here, which I'm highlighting, right? So this is what, Claude AI provided us. It's again in Python because I have chosen a Python as a programming language. We can see, some enum kind of stuff here defined as a class, right? Then we have a data class. Okay, now we have some service related class. Let's check service, order manager, then exchange gateway, trading application, main, and then, it's getting executed, right? I haven't tried to run that, but it really looks good, right? Okay, so now let me explain the key component of the design, high level component, client layer. Trading UI or API endpoint for order submission, right? It didn't include the WebSocket, but that can be the another mechanism which we can use to just, place the orders, right? Handle user authentication, initial validation looks good. Trading application layer, what all things we're gonna have in this application layer. Then we have an exchange layer. It tells what all components we're gonna build. And then we have a low-level design where we are talking about the threat safety, how we can achieve that, risk management, order state management, error handling, right? So see, all those information, it's very precisely articulated here, right? So you can just take all these responses, you can reconcile them, and you can just, build your own, understanding, and you can just, gel together all those responses, and wherever you find that, okay, there is some problem or it's not very clear, you can ask the same question, right? The next question which I designed is, it's pretty much like how we can architect, because it seems like now we got a very high level understanding, like, I mean, how this is going to happen, So then I asked the second question where I'm asking to just, architect the entire system. Could you please help to architect the entire system for the trade execution over the exchange? As we have many Python developer available, so we want Python to be a main programming language, other component like relational database or NoSQL database, blah, 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 streaming platform or any other technology related component you can choose, right? So if you ask this question, right, just see what kind of response ChatGPT is providing to us. Okay, it's more or less same, but now you will see it has included the Python library. Okay, these are the two library which you can use to just build your API gateway. Then for order management, we have Redis, which is going to be act as a cache DB, and then PostgreSQL. So whatever response you are getting here, right? If you want a more elaborated, explanation all these points, you can ask, you can design your question and you can ask the same. Matching engine, what it's going to do, market data handler, risk management, compliance related stuff, exchange connectivity, streaming and event database and storage, all blah, blah, blah. Then we have a technology stack, which actually precisely, mentioned, like, I mean, what we're going to do. Programming language, as I mentioned, Python is the preference, order matching, market data processing, exchange connectivity, right? Here we can see fixed protocol or the WebSocket. Probably we can ask a more detail, like how fixed protocol works, how WebSocket works. It's used a lot within a, capital market customers infrastructure. Then we have database, streaming, Redis stream or Kafka we can use, monitoring Prometheus and Grafana and Loki, right? It looks good. Deployment, we can use Kubernetes, Docker, and Terraform, right? So we have a very high level understanding, like what all technology stack we will be needing, right? Now we have a low level design, again, they have just given another image, which is very messy, right? But it's a free version, right? So we should not be care about that, because once we have upgraded version, probably we can direct and control these images more precisely. Okay, this is the response from ChatGPT. Now come back to the DeepSeek one. In DeepSeek, I asked a similar question. This is what we got. User interface technology, right? It seems like DeepSeek is more appropriately providing more options, right? For example, if you just see the UI, we can see Flask and Django based. We can use, right? And for mobile order management, Flask, Django, and Fast API, right? So it included more libraries. So basically, it's providing me more options. Risk management, pandas, NumPy, exchange, relational database, NoSQL. It's talking about MongoDB, streaming platform, Kafka, right? Market data feed. It's talking about the market data feed as well, because that is also one important aspect or component when it comes to a trade execution, analytics and reporting, logging, monitoring, right? Then we have a detailed workflow. What it's explaining on how the services are going to interact, how the components, work together to just have the end-to-end execution done. Order placement, trade place order through UI, order is sent to the OMS via REST API, order validation, order routing, matching, trade confirmation, market data processing, risk management, analytics, reporting, logging, and monitoring. This looks good. Again, we have a technology stake as well, scalability consideration, security consideration, deployment. So it seems like DeepSeek R1 is giving more appropriate response, because this is the latest one which DeepSeek has given to us. Now come to the Claude AI and see, because I haven't asked this question, so we can ask the same question in real time and see what response we get. But I am 100% sure the response which Claude AI is going to generate for us, it's going to be more impressive as compared to DeepSeek and ChatGPT one, because this is what my experience has been so far with Claude AI. That looks good to me. I'm not advocating which one you should use, because you should try all the available tools in the market, and then you have to make your informed decision. I mean, which one is actually working fine for you. But I would suggest get this activity done in multiple tools, reconcile the data or the responses, get the best of each and every tool, and just you create your, the best version of the system which you feel would be the best one. Okay. So what we are seeing here is provide the code as well. But do we really need that code for now? Okay. This is how the complete trading architecture. Okay. So this is how this flow will look like. Okay. From the architect perspective. Okay. So client layer, quick fix WebSocket, application layer, it's provided a Python code as well. Data layer, right? So we have time scale DB for time series market data. Yeah, that's another component. So if you just see some of the components given in ChatGPT, there are some differences on DeepSeekR1, then we have some more differences on Claude AI, right? So this is how the hierarchy looks like to me. ChatGPT seems to be at the very beginning level, then the DeepSeekR1, and then the cloud when it comes to, architect the trade execution, because this seems to be more this seems to be giving us a more insight, like, how each component should be designed, and it's giving us some more information. So specifically for this data layer, right? Time scale DB, because we really need a time series market data. PostgreSQL, MongoDB, again, it's very important for analytics and reporting, right? We know that it's a document-based DB. Redis for caching, that's also good. And Apache Kafka is a streaming platform. We all know that if we want to design a system based on the event-driven, then we have to use some kind of streaming platform, right? And then an infrastructure layer, saying Docker container, Kubernetes, Prometheus, and Grafana for monitoring, and ELK stack for logging, right? That also makes sense. Now, trading system core components, as I mentioned, we can see some Python code here given to us. If we just walk through, we have order class, position, market data service, order manager, risk manager, analytics service, web sockets. We can design a web socket here. Okay, that looks good. Then we have some API requests as well. Awesome. So in my opinion, this pretty much looks good, right? And we have containerization, like how we can create a Docker image, Kubernetes configuration as well. So overall, from the architect perspective, right? In just less than 10 to 15 minutes, I can create a very high level design for any kind of application I want to build. I know there are a lot of things which we need to think about it, but all these things are giving you as an architect, all the basic starting point or the pointers on which you can just go and just do the brainstorming with your experts, who are involved in this activity, right? So in my opinion, these tools are really, really helping us a lot. And top of it, it's saving our time. It's not saving, hours, it's saving days, weeks, and months for us, right? Usually, when I started working as an architect, I do remember that it takes a lot of time for us to, think about it, come up with the solution, create the documentation and all those stuff, creating a flow diagram and all those kind of stuff. But those kind of things are just, you can build in just few minutes. So isn't it very amazing? I'm completely blown away, right? But the kind of worry I'm getting, if these tools in current state where I'm just using all the freely available, options. So if I just go for the Pro, where, it will be giving us more flexibility, more feature, then I'm 100% sure, the kind of response we're going to get, that is going to be significantly improved on all these things, right? So in real time, I would say, everybody has to start using all these tools. I cannot emphasize more on that, because that's the only way going forward. Otherwise, we will be left behind, right? We cannot ignore that, because the pace, these AI platform and tools, are adopting to, improve themselves day by day. It's going to be a very biggest challenge, for us. But on the other hand, the positive aspect of all these is, if we master ourselves on using all these tools effectively, believe me, then we can be more innovative, more creative, and we can be more efficient, to build the solution around that, right? So I would suggest, keep exploring all these tools, keep exploring all the capabilities, because that is what I'm emphasizing in each of my videos, right? So thanks for watching this. If you have any feedback or any suggestion, if you want me to cover any specific, area, I would love to do that, because I am also exploring these tools and just seeing, how these tools can help me to make myself more efficient and more effective, right? So thanks for watching this. Stay healthy, keep learning, new things.